So, how's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. Let me just move that microphone there, turn that down. With the latest transfer news for you, we've got the latest goings on with the... Sorry, that was playing. We got the latest news for you today. We're going to cover all the Manchester United news, the goings-on, reaction to Ralf Rangnick's press conference, the latest updates on transfer players, ins, outs, all the rest of it, with just 10 days left of the January transfer window. Come on, United, we've got to do some business, don't we? How are we all doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining us. Let me see who we've got in here. So we've got Cool Homies. What's going on, my friend? Ralf Rangnick, Naz786, Arsenal Manic. And also, we've got Keshav Chandan Singh. How are you doing? John Anderson, mate. Great to see you too. And everybody in the chat, do us a favour. Smash that like button on it. Thumbs up it. Share it around on social media if you can as well. That'll help us out. And also, if you're on catch-up later, watching this back, then please do get down below in the not live comments and have your say on anything we're discussing in this video. And also, smash the thumbs up on it as well. And subscribe. If you're new, smash the subscribe. You only need to be subbed for 1 minute to get involved in the chat, so do get involved. Can we just have a special moment to say thank you, Gaz Newton, for being a member for 18 months of the channel? Let's be having you. He says 18 months, yeah, baby. All the best, Pig, mate. Thank you so much, Gaz Newton, for supporting this show for 1.5 years, mate, as a member. Get in there. That's special, my son. Let's be having you. Guys, everybody, please do get a massive love heart and your favourite Bacon Brigade emoji in there for Mr. Gaz Newton. Thank you so much, Gaz, for being a Bacon Brigadier for a long time. You're a bloody legend. Come on. Thank you so much, dude. So I'm going to get into the main news then here, peeps. So the main news that I want to talk about today is the Jesse Lingard situation. So at this moment in time, reports, various different reports coming out, and I'll talk about what Ralf Rangnick said at his presser as well. In fact, I'll start with that. So Ralf Rangnick was asked about the Jesse Lingard situation. Reports yesterday coming out from various places like the Telegraph that Newcastle United have made a second loan bid offer to take Jesse Lingard on loan for the remainder of the season with maybe an option to buy. We've understood, Telegraph Sport understands Newcastle United are willing to pay around £6 million for a loan of Jesse Lingard and cover the cost of his 80k a week wages, is what's being reported by Luke Edwards of the Telegraph. And then various other reports say that Manchester United are in deep talks with Newcastle United right now for the transfer of Jesse Lingard. Get in there, my son! Come on! See you later on, Jesse! Beans, beans, beans over at Newcastle now. Hey, no, in all fairness, he's not quite a good enough player for Manchester United's first team. He's a decent backup, but he obviously doesn't want to do that anymore, which is fair enough. I say fair play to the lad. He showed what he could do at West Ham when he was there. If he wants to be a part of the England setup, if he wants to have a really good few years, the end of his career, now he is 30, then he's going to have to go somewhere else. So, yeah, it's a good move for everybody, really. And Newcastle United will be getting a good player who will help them over the next few seasons, getting them from bang average dog turd shite right down at the bottom of the table to being, mediocre mid-table gash. Or even, if they spend money well over the next few windows and Eddie Howe does well, maybe even a higher up their team in a few seasons' time. I could see it happening. So, yeah, Jesse Lingard's a perfect signing for Newcastle United right now. This is what Ralf Rangnick had to say on the situation, so he was asked about it. And he said that Jesse Lingard is a very good player who must make a decision himself on his Manchester United future. So he was asked about the situation. Lingard's only made 14 appearances this season. And, of course, obviously, he's been on loan at West Ham previously before that. He's sort of got one foot out the door. I mean, this is somebody that's posting pictures on his social media a couple of times recently of him in a West Ham shirt celebrating goals and shite like that. I don't think that's really the actions of somebody who's happy and wants to stay at their current job. Really, I think he is looking for a move away, and fair enough because he's not getting game time. Can't really dispute the guy. He has been at United his whole career. He has obviously come through the ranks. And fair play to him. He's had a decent career. He scored an FA Cup final, all the rest of it. He's got some accolades. But he's also just not the standard of player that we need to take this club forward to where we need to be. He's a bang average player. He's on too much money. You can spend that money and utilise that money a lot better than Jay Lings. No disrespect. But he is a good player, though. Like, he is. I'd be happy to keep him as a backup. It's a backup to come on. I'll ask you guys then, guys. So, listen. Jesse Lingard, the current situation as it is, peeps, are you happy to see Lingard go, or would you have rather have kept him? Let's have a little cheeky vote. So, stay or go? What would you rather see? Stay as a backup? I mean, he could literally just play second fiddle, I suppose, be a smaller part of something bigger at Manchester United and challenge for actual trophies and accolades and things over the next few seasons and get paid well to do it. He seems to like being a Man United player. Or he could go to Newcastle United, get more game time, or West Ham, or whoever would be interested, and obviously get proper game time, get consistent week to week games, and obviously have a good career last few games, kind of like Phil Neville did. Remember Phil Neville at Man United? Obviously, he wasn't getting the game time at United. He wasn't good enough to start the first team games, so he's had to go to Everton, and look what he did. He had a great career. Go, says Aaron Agnew. Stay, says Arsenal Manic. Go, says Aaron. Go, says J King. Go, says Dilly Hill. Hey there, Mr. Garrett. How you doing? Go to Newcastle, says Naz. Go, says Wiggy. Go, says Simon Almeida. Stay, says Arsenal Manic. Okay, so the Arsenal fans want him to stay, but everybody else, United fans in the chat there, everyone seems to be saying, go, go, go. You don't want Jesse here anymore. He is just a burden, end of the day. It's not really his fault. It's just that he's on too much money for the player he is. If he was on 40 grand a week, hey, Jesse, you go and be back up all you want, and make us a nice cup of tea too, lad. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, but because he's on big money and actual good players' money, that's money that's better utilised somewhere else in this squad. It's not my money. I don't give a shit about the Glazers spend extra money, but I just think overall the squad, if you're going to improve areas of the squad, selling somebody like Lingard and putting that towards a top quality central midfielder's wages or something makes a lot of sense. And that's maybe what Ralph Rangnick's going to have to do if he wants to bring any players in there. Dilly Hill says, is that on loan? Well, at the moment in time, the reports suggest that it is a loan deal. So £6 million initial offer, I think, for a remainder of the season loan. This is what Telegraph are reporting, and then an option to buy in the future. But we don't know that. We don't know that 100% yet. We'll give you more information, obviously, on this channel when it comes out, when it does break. But right now, it does seem like it's a loan deal. So this is what Rangnick said. He said, with regard to Jesse, it's the same as with quite a few other players. He's a really good player. I see that in every training session. For me, it's normal that other clubs, like, for example, Newcastle, show interest in him. I'm not the one who is dealing with that. I know there might be some interest from other clubs, but if you ask me now what will happen in the next 10 days until the closure of the window, I can't answer that question, I'm afraid. He was pressed further on it, and he explained the power of the decision sort of lies with Jesse Lingard. He said, as I said, it's also a question of what does the player want? What options does he really have? Does he see a chance to get more game time? Those are all questions that I cannot answer for him or for other players, says the German coach. It's something that has to be done by the players and the agents themselves. What I can say is he's a very good player, a technical player, and of course he can play for many Premier League clubs on a regular basis. Here at Manchester United, it's not so easy as we have other players who can also play in that position, and we can't change from one game to the other 5 or 6 positions. That's his nice way of saying, yeah, we've got many players who are just better at the club right now, and he's just a backup, and that's it, and it's up to him whether or not he wants to fight it out and try and get some game time here. He says, I can't answer that question. He's the manager. You'd think he'd be able to answer the question. He can't answer the question because the real answer to the question is, at this moment in time, he's not in my plans. Is Jesse going to get in my plans? Well, lots of different things have to happen in order for that to happen. So, yeah, it really is. He's surplus. He's surplus. He's surplus to United. He's surplus to Rangnick, it seems like. But he says, as I said, for him, I know his contract is expiring in the summer. But the question is, what does he want to do? Does he want to get more game time from now on? Therefore, it's quite legitimate to speak about other options. But I wouldn't be unhappy if he stayed until the rest of the season. I know he is a player who can always play. Even if we need to play him from the start, I know what kind of level I will get from him. That's how I would describe the situation. So, hey, Zamiassi getting in with a 249 super chat. It says next time. Hey, thank you so much, Zamiassi. Next year, man. And he's still pissed if he's got that another hippopotamus super sticker in here. Shaking his fist, mate, like an angry hippo. That's what happens when you're an Arsenal fan. Hey, by the way, what's the date? 21st of Jan. All right, yeah. Are you still in any cups? oh, having a go at us about getting knocked out, not knocked out, but you being higher than us in the league. And we're still in the Champions League, still in the FA Cup, still in the hunt for top 4, obviously. Arsenal, on the other hand, they're already out of everything. Anyway, Sammy Hassie, thank you so much, dude, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Great to have you all aboard. Thank you, cool homies. Yeah, he says smash a like for the pig. We've got 69 dudes in here and dudettes. Do us a favor, smash that like button. Let's get 100 likes on this stream. Give it a share out there as well on social media. Help us out. Let's get a few more legends in here as well. And also hit that subscribe button if it's your first time here. Get yourself involved. So that's the quotes that he had to say on Lingard. And in regards to what he said, obviously, what he's basically saying is, yeah, it doesn't really bother him if he stays as a backup, but he's not guaranteed any game time. He's only really going to be coming in off the bench, or if we need to play him and start him in a game if we've got mad injury issues, etc., then I will. But other than that, he's just going to be surplus. That's pretty much what Ralph Rangnick has summarised there. And he's also, said that Newcastle United have the interest. He said he's not dealing with that, but obviously that is going on behind the scenes. The discussions are taking place between the two. Hey, Bell6091, thank you so much for being a member for 15 months. Come on, get in there, swoo. He says, I'm so pigsy, my head is spinning. All hell the pig. Okay then, Bell689, thank you so much for being a member of the channel for 15 months, my friend. Come on, let's get a hashtag 15 months in there for Bell. You bloody legend. Thank you for supporting the channel and being an absolute don. Bell691, everyone, thank you so much. So just to clarify there, the reports there are obviously that Rangnick is quite happy to let Lingard go to Newcastle United if the right offer comes in, which they are currently negotiating right now. This is what Sky Sports are reporting. Newcastle United are pushing hard to sign Jesse Lingard, but have so far been unable to agree a deal with Manchester United. So talks continued into the night. It says as Newcastle tried to sign the England forward on loan ahead of the weekend's Premier League game against Leeds. United are thought to favour a permanent move, while a loan may suit Newcastle and Lingard with the risk of relegation hanging over the club. So yes, do they want to commit to signing a player on 80k a week or 100k a week if they get relegated into the Championship? That's another big thing. I think they'll stay up, personally. In fact, let's have a vote about that in the live chat. Let's have a look where they are and what their points are. I personally think Eddie Howe's a good coach. I think if they have a decent window now, I think between now and the end of the window, they will stay up. But as it is right now, they're not doing well at all. They are in the relegation zone. Watford and Everton, the two teams above the relegation zone, have a game in hand on Newcastle United. And they've got a goal difference of -23, which is the second worst in the league. They have an absolute shitter. So they might go down, but I've just got a feeling that they'll stay up. Do you think they'll stay up, or do you think they'll get relegated? Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see about that and see if there's a deal to be done for Jesse, because they might not want to commit huge money to somebody that, would be a burden on them in a year's time if they do indeed get relegated. They'd have to come back up the right way. But then again, they're not planning on doing that. They have to speculate to accumulate here, in my opinion, to get to stay up. If they want to have a better team, they've got to sign a better standard of player. And obviously, Jesse Lingard would fit right in for them now to be able to help them out between now and the end of the season and help them stay up. So probably a loan deal does suit everyone better, though, just simply because they don't have to commit if they do get relegated. But then again, Manchester United know that we're losing this player in this summer for free. So when we say this, it would just be a loan deal in terms of an option to buy. I mean, I guess there would be an option to buy for like nothing, but really it's just when his contract runs out at United, they can just sign him on a free. So it probably suits Jesse quite well going on loan and not having an option to buy, simply because he can ask for more money in the summer as a free agent and probably get it too. So Jesse Lingard in the summer as a free agent makes a lot of sense from his point of view if he is going to move. From Man United's point of view, they'd probably like to get some money for him to sell him permanently now. But Newcastle United, like we say, they might get relegated. They might not be too keen to do it. So we'll have to wait and see in regards to this. I think it's going to happen, guys, just because he's on decent money. That's just money that's going to be wasted on his wages between now and the summer for Man United, which is millions of pounds. Actually, not millions, but it's so, what is it? It's 100. Let's say it's 100 grand a week, even if it's 80k a week. Like, it's still millions, over $1 million between now and the end of the season. You could save that. You could actually sell him as well right now, get some money, or you can loan him out, get his wages covered, and also get a small fee as well. The reports of 6 million. I don't know if that's true, but Zayn Miyasi getting a 349 super sticker in here of a big man giving a little kid a present there. Zayn Miyasi, thank you so much for the gift there, bro. I appreciate you. Zayn, come on, can we get some soos in there for Zayn Miyasi? I appreciate it, dude. He's also banging on about Vlahovic in the chat. I don't think so, Zayn Miyasi. I don't think so. You never know. You never know, but personally, if I was a player looking to go to a Premier League club right now, Arsenal would not be the one, mate. They're not in any European competition, and they're also just in turmoil all the time. Unless they finished in the top four, then in the summer, you might be able to sign some good standard sort of players, but I just personally think you're gash. Anyway, so that's what Sky Sports are reporting, that we favour a permanent move. It says it's looking increasingly likely that Newcastle would have to make an offer to United and Lingard to get this over the line, a good offer. United are aware that this is the final opportunity to get any sort of money for Lingard as well. Remember that, guys. So you have to take that into consideration, the fact that if we do leave this until the summer, then there's every possibility that he just goes for nothing. And if we do, that's what's going to happen. So we have to try and get him, so we have to try and get him in, get him sold in this January window, I should say. So then, also, he's understood to have a good friendship with Kieran Trippier, who joined Newcastle United from Atletico Madrid this month as well. And so, there you go. I mean, in terms of like them signing the right sort of players, if they can sign players like Trippier, Lingard, Slabby Maguire, it'll do them really, really well. But honestly, Trippier and Lingard would be a couple of really great signings for them. I mean, they're England internationals, they're England players, whether or not they're always in the England team's another question, but Jesse Lingard has been played a lot of times for England, and Kieran Trippier has as well. So these are good standard players that Newcastle would be bringing in. But Lingard is currently able to speak to foreign clubs, obviously at the moment on a pre-contract agreement, so there's also a possibility right now that an offer comes in from a club abroad for him, in which case, he might hold out to the summer to go there. Okay, other reports coming in that Newcastle United's uncharacteristic spend this month doesn't look to be stopping with Newcastle chasing the signing of Jesse Lingard. So yes, they've obviously had a huge takeover. They brought Kieran in for 12 million. They signed ex-Burnley forward Chris Wood for 25, but now they've made a lucrative offer for Jesse Lingard. So get in there, my son. I'm pretty happy about this, guys. I think as long as we go and sign another player with it, then it all makes very much sense. I mean, we have reports here today as well, and just generally that Rangnick is very, very interested of trying to sign Amadou Haidara from RB Leipzig. So it says here, Bild in Germany are reporting that Ralf Rangnick's desperate to bring in Amadou Haidara as his first Man United signing. But the club won't sanction any signings until the expensive squad players are either sold or loaned out. So this is pretty much the situation. We've got a lot of big players on big money, people like Tony Martial or Jesse Lingard, doing absolutely nothing. And yeah, we've probably got to balance the books a little bit, get them out, redistribute that throughout the squad, and get some new signings in. So Amadou Haidara would be great if we could get rid of Jesse, maybe get rid of Tony Martial as well. If that situation changes anyway, maybe he's staying. But if there is a decent offer, we've got more on Sevilla as well. But anyway, Bild in Germany reporting that Rangnick's very, very, very keen on bringing in Amadou Haidara as his first signing still. And that he's his number one target for Ralf Rangnick this month. United Chiefs are obviously hesitant to make a move right now because of the situation. Also, RB Leipzig situation, they would accept offers upwards of 55 million euros. This is what Sky Germany are reporting, that United and Newcastle United are interested in signing. Newcastle United are linked to everybody just because they got all this money right now. So they're just linked to everyone. I don't think Amadou Haidara is going to end up at Newcastle, but apparently they're interested. But Man United and Newcastle, which is all the more reason why we should flog them Jesse. But we're really keen to bring him in this month anyway. RB Leipzig would accept 55 million euros and up. But there are reports that in the summer there's a transfer release clause that comes into effect. And so, you could get him for 33 million euros or 34 million pounds, maybe it is, in the summer. And that's obviously cheaper than what they're proposing right now. But if you could just sweeten the deal a little bit, you're going to have to pay more to get him in January and get him in now. So United should just go ahead and do it. I can't actually believe that it's the 21st of the month and United have fannied around all month long so far and not signed a player and just accepted our mediocre gash midfield. It is a disgrace, and it just goes to show you the lack of ambition our owners have and the people running the club have. They're fucking clueless, aren't they? We're 3 weeks into the window, guys. 3 weeks, the 21st now. 3 weeks into the fucking window. We could have had a couple of good players wrapped up at the start of the window and had them playing in the last few games and been effective for us and help us throughout the season. But no, we do what we always do, like we did with Bruno Fernandes, getting him last moment at the window like an absolute pathetic bunch of melts. That is what we do, and it hurts us. Rather than just pay a little bit more money at the start of the window and get your man in. You see other clubs doing it, Newcastle United doing it. Why can't we do it? There's no good reason for it other than the fact that they're a bunch of tight-fisted bastards and they just want to try and drag it down as much as possible. It's why Jesse Lingard's still here. There was offers in the summer from West Ham, reports anyway, that there was offers on the table up to £20 million for Jesse. And United just said, no, we want a little bit more. And then now look at the situation. It's like they're piss poor. They can't manage the situations well in terms of both recruitment and selling of players. This is why we have so many players on huge money that no other bastard wants for the money that we're paying them. So anyway, It's a disgrace, though. It's the 21st of Jan and we haven't signed a single player. Amadou Haidara, let's go and get this guy. We're desperate for a midfielder. You saw in the last game, yeah, okay, Fred did get an assist, all the rest of it, but he's still erratic with his passing. He's still bang bloody average. McTominay, too, is not the most reliable of players. And it's all well and good doing it against the lesser teams. I need players in the side who can do it against the best teams. That's the point. Hey, Roshmano, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, you legend. Thank you for joining us, my son. Great to see you. Great to see you. How are you today? Thoughts on Dembele joining Chelsea, reunite with Tuchel, says PS. We don't want to talk about that shite. Oh, what's this? Alarm. Egan Brakanka says, sell Maguire. Oh, if only. That's another person that we're just talking about right now, as we just discussed. Another person who we've priced out the market to be able to sell. Anyway, so reports in Germany, RB Leipzig rely on Amadou Haidara, though, but they may be forced to sell him. So he is a big player for them over there. So they rely on him. This is what Sky Germany's saying. Obviously, the reports are that Manchester United are very much interested in him. So I'm going to ask you guys in the live chat then. There's 93 of you legends in here. Which player, if you could just sign one player this January transfer window, who would you like to see come in? Who would you like to see? Now, for me, it would actually be Ruben Neves over at Wolves. I know that's sort of not what we've been talking about at all, and there's no links to that, and that's not going to happen because he's worth decent amounts of money, and Wolves don't need to sell him, and Wolves don't want to sell him, and he's pretty content there. It's not going to happen, I don't think. But that's who I bring in. Let's see who you guys would bring in. So Neves says Big God Bob, Ruben Neves says Joshua Whitfield, Verratti says Bell, Kessie says Madhouse, Neves says Arctics United. Ollie says Ambula. Hey, Stefan, thank you very much. He says, give a like for the pig, please. Thank you, Stefan. Yeah, if you're just joining the stream, peeps, there's 95 you legends in here. Firstly, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. That's the red one that says subscribe. Hit that one. And also, smash the like on it. It's free to do so. Boost us up the algorithm. Help us compete against the clickbait merchants and purveyors of shite on YouTube and also the corporation channels, etc. Do smash the like, share it around and all that good stuff. Thank you, guys. Midnight Madness says Modric 6-month loan. Hey, easy there, Chrissy J. What's going on? Yes, I'm on early today, just covering the latest news. Obviously, Rangnick's presser. If you missed sort of what he said at the start in regards to Lingard, I'll just give you a slight refresher. He's basically just said, the situation is there's lots of good players at United. He's a good player. And if there's opportunities when he needs him, he can pop him in there at the start of the game. No dramas. He's got no worries about him. But the situation really, in a nice way of saying it, is that there's lots of players who are better than Jesse Lingard at the football club. And Jesse Lingard's situation is that of somebody that is really surplus to requirements. That's what I got from it, from his comments today. And he also mentioned the fact that Newcastle United are interested, and he's not quite dealing with that. It's out of his hands, but the situation behind the scenes is being worked on, negotiations between the two clubs for a potential loan deal. He didn't say a loan or a transfer, but this is what the Telegraph were reporting yesterday, that there's a potential loan with no option to buy because his contract's running out in the summer, if you know what I mean. But a loan deal to the end of the season with a fee. £6 million is what's being bandied around at the moment. United reportedly more interested in selling him on a permanent basis. Newcastle United not so keen on doing that because they are shitting it down in the relegation zone at the moment. And if they get relegated to the Championship, there's just another player they've got on big money in the Championship. But that probably won't happen. I think they've got to speculate to accumulate there to get Jesse in. Nice one. We'll have to wait and see, says PS. Yeah, no, sorry, you want to buy a opinion on that? Yeah, if he ends up going there, then it's an interesting sign. I wouldn't want him at United personally. So yeah, let him go there. He is a very talented player and he's still young, but he's injury laden, my son. We don't need another injury laden player at United. So let Chelsea have him there, PS, to be honest. Hey, Andrikos says Rice would be perfect. He has improved unlike most England international players. Yeah, you got to say that he is fantastic for his age as well, his development. I mean, look at that West Ham side. They're doing very, very well. And obviously he is a big part of that. But it's just the financial implications of bringing somebody in like that. I mean, it's definitely not going to happen in January. And I personally don't think it's going to happen in the summer either. I think there's better value for Manchester United in other areas, like different teams, like Neves, for instance, for the money that it would take to sign Declan Rice. And Declan Rice is younger, a bit younger. He's homegrown, he's English, but let's be honest now, in terms of like value, you can get Ruben Neves for less than half, probably, what Declan Rice costs. And then you could go and sign another quality player like, I don't know, this Amadou Haidara guy, and you've got two for the price of one there. And they're both young. Neves is still young and Haidara is still young. And they might not be, quite as good. Maybe I think they probably are, though. You know, in all honesty, I think Rice is a bit overrated in my opinion. I think he is very good. He is very good, but again, it's like because he's English and because he's in the England setup and he's doing well for West Ham. Obviously, I think he but he is good. He is good. Obviously, he is good. Yeah, exactly. Arctic United. Neves is only 25. I think he's only 24, actually, mate. He might be 25, but either way, he's young too. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, and Haidara is also. So that just makes more sense for United to get better value elsewhere, whether that's from a different league as well. Vincent says, breaking news, Gunchi signed a 5-year contract with Accrington Stanley. He'll accept payments in Jaffa cakes. Get in there. Neves is like 25 only. Hey, G-Wolf United, how are you doing today? Oh, I hope you're doing well, G-Wolf. Thanks for joining us. Rice, big game, Butler, interesting tomorrow. We'll see, Big God Bob, eh? One thing I want to talk about, guys, I will get back into the transfer stuff in a minute because we've got plenty of stuff coming through. But what I want to talk about is some bad news. Luckily, it's not that bad, but it is still pretty bad. Right, okay, so, hang on, are we in focus here? Now we are. Right, okay, so this is bad news, guys. Obviously, Victor Lindelof's home was broken into on Wednesday night while he was obviously representing Manchester United. And as you can see here, pretty disgusting. But this is a statement from his wife, which was on social media. It read, during Victor's game this Wednesday night, we had a break-in at our house in Manchester. I was home alone with both the kids, but we managed to hide and lock ourselves in a room before they entered our house. We are okay under the circumstances, but it was obviously a very traumatic and scary moment for both me and my little kids. We are now in Sweden and are spending time off with our families. Love, Marja, right? Pretty fucking awful, mate. You're hearing a lot about this recently, man. There's no point even trying to talk sense into people like this because they're just clearly scum. But it's just so sickening somebody would target somebody's wife and kids when they're out at work and then, and use their public, obviously, situation to their advantage, knowing his whereabouts. It's just fucking sickening, mate. If this happened to me, I'm not, and somebody, how bad would that feel? You're away at work, you get home, and you fucking found out your house has been broken into, while your wife and kids are in there by some fucking God knows what. It's disgraceful. I'll put a bullet between their eyes, mate. In all honesty, that's fucking disgusting. But anyway, thankfully, they're okay. They were not harmed. They were not injured, and but they are off to Sweden. And Victor Lindelof's been given time off as well. Ralf Rangnick said in the press conference earlier that that he's not going to be playing in the game tomorrow. He's been given time off, obviously, like I guess compassionate leave for this game. And yeah, so the situation as it is, obviously they're sort of dealing with that. So that's not good. Not good. Scallywag, says Stefan. Yeah, happened to City star Cancelo, says Airborne Assassin. Yes, it did. There was another one. Who was it? Was it in France, in Paris, a couple of months ago? Somebody got actually physically beaten up as well, didn't they? One of the footballers. I can't remember who it was now, but yeah, no, that's really bad. Anyway, just want to say, let's get some massive love hearts in there for Victor Lindelof and his fam, because that is a shit thing to deal with. I mean, at least it's not worse. But at the same time, you're hearing a lot about it these days, and it's must be a massive worry. People go on about these footballers and, they make all this money and they make all this. But I tell you what, with money and fame comes a shitload of problems, man. Because scumbag people like this want to target you when you're just trying to make an honest living playing a game of football that you love. And so, yeah, it's pretty despicable stuff. But anyway, love hearts in the chat for Victor. Absolutely. Hey, Ellie, how you doing today? Thanks for joining us. She says, like and subscribe, everyone. Thank you so much, Ellie. Hope you're good. How you going? Michael Goabone, how are you today as well, mate? He says, food for thought. British players have been bad at United lately. Take a look at our 2 previous starting lineups and our performances. What's up, Piggy? Love from Botswana. Get in there, Michael. And also, yeah, they have, Rashford. Greenwood scored on the last game, but obviously Bruno putting on a plate. I don't know. But anyway, there you go, guys. So that's the latest on Victor Lindelof's situation. He will not be playing. Absolute shithousery, I agree. Andrew Cross says, it's unfair for his family to have to deal with that shit. A lot of stress. Big time, mate. Big time. And you would just feel they've gone back to Sweden, mate. So they've literally gone back to Sweden to spend time with the family because, just think about that. You wouldn't really feel safe in your... thankfully, that's never happened to me where somebody's broken into my house. But if they did, and you weren't there either to, do anything about it, I think it would make you feel horrible. It would definitely make you feel... Especially while your wife and kids are there. You know what I mean? If your wife and kids are there and you're not, it's like, crikey, that would make you question everything. I'd be, if I'm Lindelof now, it's like, that's it. You have to have round the fucking, round the clock security and shit like that. And that's not fair. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to live like that. But from a psychological point of view, it's quite hard to get to crack on as normal the next day, which I can understand why they've gone to Sweden. So yeah, not good news, guys. Not good news in regards to that. He's not going to be playing though. And it's also really bad news in regards to the centre-back position. So because we were trying to get a little bit of a partnership built up with Lindelof and Varane, I think we could have gone with that going forward. As things stand, we're going to have somebody come back into the side at centre-back now to play alongside Varane. There's great options there, though. We have got a lot of options. We've got Bailly, we've got Lindelof. Sorry, Bailly's on the AFCON, actually, isn't he? But we've got Lindelof. We've got Jones, and we've got Maguire. So personally, out of those two, and I'm not even being funny when I say this either, I personally would rather see Phil Jones play. I'll be totally honest with you. Just because of his heart and his passion that he showed in that one game. If you can get another performance like that out of him, he's going to do well for us. So I think that's a lot more of a passionate and impressive performance than I've seen from him in that one game than Slabby all season, in all honesty. So I wouldn't put Slabby Maguire back in the team, but I'll ask you guys in the live chat, let me know, who would you put back in there instead of Victor Lindelof tomorrow at centre-back alongside Varane? Do have your say in the chat. For me, it's Phil Jones. Dirty Sanchez says Jones. Lingy, Henderson says Sadiq Rahman. Jones says, oh, busy. Hey, Tom, what's going on, lad? He says, when is Bailly back? We desperately need him, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not too sure, actually. I'm not too sure when he'll be getting back in the team. Must be City crooks. Yeah, Madhouse. I know. No self-respecting Man United fans going to go and rob Victor Lindelof's home, are they? No. Must be a City scummer or even a Liverpool scouser, I reckon. Anyway. All chocolate raisins. Chocolate raisins are elite, aren't they, Ellie? They're absolutely amazing. I can't buy them, though, because if I do, I just eat the whole bag in one sitting. Dirty Sanchez says Jones. Arctic United says Maguire out. Binslov, bro, what's going on? Hello, man. 4-4-2, okay, 2-0. Get in there, Binslov. I wouldn't mind seeing a different formation, in all fairness. I'd like to see a 4-4-2. I'd like with Cavani and Ronaldo up top. Oh, yeah. I'd like to see a slab-free day tomorrow. Jones for me says, oh, busy. Big God Bob says Jones. Macaulay says, what's the latest pick? So I've gone through most of it. I'll have a bit of a rundown in a bit as well, Macaulay. So, but I'll get on to the next topic and then I'll do a rundown in a bit. Look, everyone's saying Jones in here. Artix, Keshav, Templar, Airborne Assassin, yeah. So, in my opinion, Phil Jones has to start as well because he's shown more passion in that one game than Slabby Maguire did all season because he's a complete fucking frozen fridge of a man. It's time to go. But anyway, so there you go. Next up, then, before I get on to covering what we've already discussed and having a bit of a rundown and getting into the live chat for a Q&A, let's talk about the next topic. We've got news reports from Spain suggesting that Sevilla have returned with their interest in Anthony Martial and will try their luck again before the end of the window. Martial remains Sevilla's number one target, and Julian Lopetegui has made the player his priority. This is what reports are coming out in Spain. And also different report in France here suggesting that Sevilla have redoubled their efforts to sign Anthony Martial on loan. But United are asking the La Liga side to cover 100% of the player's wages, which is 1.3 million euros a month, apparently, which is just pretty insane. So in terms of whether or not it is feasible, we'll have to wait and see. I think from Man United's point of view, it'd be better to pay him to go and play for somebody else. Fridges are reliable, says Big Up. Oh, that's true. You know, a few United scallywags, says Stefan Harringtonio. Yeah, but I don't think they'd be robbing United players, though, would they? I think they go and target the Liverpool players, if anything. But anyway, swap Koundé for Martial, says Sir Paul Scholes. That'd be nice too. Right, guys. Okay. So yes, smash the thumbs up button, guys. Get your opinions in about this quickly before I move on to the next topic. But Tony Martial, stay or go, because he's recently had a little bit of a they patched things up, didn't they? There was that big bust up between Rangnick and Martial. Not really a bust up, but Rangnick and Martial miscommunicating. Martial said that he would never refuse to play for Manchester United, never has done in the 7 years that he's been here. And Ralph Rangnick said that he didn't want to play. But what he really meant is, mentally, or, he just wasn't there. He didn't think that he wanted to play, but he never said that he didn't want to play. There was a bit of a bust up, but he said obviously the matter was resolved. They discussed it. He's training. He was on the bench in the last game. So maybe he's going to feature. That's the thing. He is a decent player, Martial, but he's just too inconsistent. He's on too much money. He's not a good enough player to justify his place in the team for me. So that's why he should go. stay, says Nasdo, but I can understand wanting the depth there. I can understand wanting the depth there, especially if you're Rangnick. Do you really want to weaken yourself if you're not going to bring other players in? You already got Lingard going. You pretty much know Lingard might be going to Newcastle or wherever in this window. That's a possibility, a strong possibility. So would you really want to weaken those wide areas sort of even more? I think so, yes. Because you've got Rashford who can play there. You've got Elanga who's burst on the scene. Now, Elanga's what Martial should be, mate. Hungry. Elanga's hungry. Elanga looks proper up for it. He's definitely been given faith in Rangnick. And you know what? Isn't it sad in a way that it's a youngster who's coming in and doing things and impressing in the side compared to, some more senior players, people like Rashford, people like Martial. And Rashford did score the other day, and that's great, but his recent performances, not as good. So, yeah, and Martial, it's a shame that these older players are just not quite up to the standard that we need them. And if they're not, well, then there's a young, hungry player in Elanga who's ready to come in and take your space. That's exactly what we should do. Martial should go. We shouldn't keep players who don't want to be at United. Exactly, Red Devils United. The situation is pretty clear, isn't it? His agent came out a month or two ago and said that was the case. So I agree. You think he's going, mate, says Stefan. Ralphie rules. Martial can do one, says the Futinator. Thank you, Rushman, who's given us a like update, and he says subscribe to the channel. Yeah, if you're new, hit the sub. We cover all the latest United news. But Rushy says we've got 63 likes. We can do better than that. Like Spike! Jonathan says, Disco Dave. Cheers. How you doing there, Disco Dave? Bunch of legends getting in. Thank you for joining us. So I want to cover the rest of it then. So a report coming out as well today that Eric Bailly, Man United, seem more than willing to negotiate defender exit in January. So we were just talking about the situation with Lindelof, but in regards to another player, so it reports in Italy that United have softened our stance. News from Gazzetta dello Sport suggests that Manchester United now seem willing to negotiate the sale on loan, although Milan are thinking about the future, would like to add the right of redemption to be exercised in the summer, so with an option to buy, etc., etc. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on there. It's a strong possibility that doesn't happen, but is it also likely that it could if Milan do come a knocking, because we are pretty chock full of players in that area. We don't need any more centre-backs. We've got too many centre-backs, especially with Phil Jones coming back into the team and Mengi probably going to be coming through next season. Somebody's got to go in that area. I would prefer it if Slabby Maguire went, of course, but Eric Bailly is, one of the most likely right now. We know there's interest from Milan. We know there's interest from United in terms of being okay to let him go, simply because Bailly is understood to be frustrated with the lack of playing opportunities this season. And rightfully so. He doesn't really play, does he? That's maybe down to the fact that over the years he's been an injury-prone melt, but this season it's not really. He's just not really been given the nod. So, Bailly is quite realistic to go also, but he could quite easily stay. You have to wait and see what goes on there. But reports coming out in Italy to suggest that Man United would be open to selling him anyway. So we've also got news about Julian Alvarez. So Manchester United, who was supposed to be interested in this guy at the start of the window, reports say that Manchester City have an interest in Julian Alvarez, and there's even a report that they have made an offer. Submit offers to sign South American star. There's 2 offers on the table at the moment. So lots of different people reporting that. I hope it's not true, because he is a decent player. He seems like somebody that would be a really good acquisition for United in this summer. But if he's going in January, it doesn't look like United are going to sign him, because we're trying to sign other midfielders. We're trying to, the situation is we spent a lot in the summer. The Glazers are tight-fisted bastards. Ralph Rangnick's got to sell players first in order to bring players in, which is why it's the 21st of January and we haven't signed anybody, because we've still haven't been able to get rid of anyone. And I think that's a key factor in us being allowed to sign players this window. Ralph Rangnick being allowed to sign players is he's got to get players out the door. And so there's hold-ups on that, and that's stopping us doing any business. Really, United should be signing this Julian Alvarez. It's peanuts money for a really good prospect. Peanuts money. We should be signing him. I'll be pissed off if he ends up going to City, guys. Let's hope that's not the case. But reports coming out that there is a bid in there. Also, just a report, I'm not going to talk about it, but apparently Erling Haaland, some reports coming out, fresh reports that he favours a move to Real Madrid this summer, and has seemingly ruled out Manchester United as an option because of the situation as it is, which I can understand, to be fair. I don't think there's a really great destination for him at United right now, to be fair. It just doesn't, from his point of view, I don't think it makes sense. Right, also The Athletic reporting this morning that several of Man United's young players feel Cristiano Ronaldo can be difficult to approach, with sources suggesting Edison Cavani, even in broken English, is more unifying presence. I mean, you know what? I fucking hate this type of bullshit journalism, guys. I'm going to be honest. The Athletic, sort your fucking lives out. You know what I'm saying? It's bollocks. It's bollocks. You know, it's negative stuff. It's trying to paint a picture that Ronaldo's got some sort of negativity, some aura about him. This is just on the back of him throwing a bit of a hissy fit the other night, by the way, which I liked. I liked the passion. I liked that Ralph put the arm around him and, and dealt with it there and then. But also I like the fact that he's getting frustrated and wants to stay on and score and help the team. But that's passion. I'd much rather have loads of players like that who actually give a toss. But anyway, from the point of view that he's the GOAT, from the point of view that he's 36, he's older than everyone, he's been there, he's done that, he's the most famous player in the world. From that point of view, maybe he is kind of difficult to approach, but I just don't like the wording of this type of article. It makes it seem like, Ronaldo's up himself or Ronaldo's not helping the youngsters. It's bollocks. It's absolute fucking bollocks. It really does my head in. But anyway, there you go. So the Athletic reporting that. I don't think it's true. A source suggests Cavani, even in broken English, is a more unifying presence. Maybe he's a more unifying presence because he's like Ronaldo. Clearly, is very vocal, even in the media, even on New Year's Day after midnight. His fucking post on New Year's Day is about the situation at United, saying we need to do better this year. We've been shite. We need to do better. It's because he's got the pure passion. He's not accepting of the mediocrity. And I'm not saying Cavani is. I'm just saying I don't hear Cavani putting posts on there saying, everyone's got to do better, or doing interviews with Sky Sports and saying, these youngsters don't like criticism and all the rest of it. I don't see that. I think Ronaldo, he's a demanding person, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing for Manchester United to have somebody who actually gives a shit. Yeah, Drew, who says Ronaldo does have a massive ego. Well, he does have, but that's what makes him one of the best players of all time. You've got to have that belief and that arrogance about you to think that you're the best, and you've got to demand the best from people around you. If you're not going to have that, then maybe you might be a bit cold with people. But actually, I just personally just don't think it's true. I just think, he seems like a warm, approachable person to me. I'm not in the dressing room now, but who are these people that find him difficult to approach? Slabby Maguire? Maybe Slabby Maguire's just a dick and he doesn't want to deal with him. Who are these, some of these youngsters who don't give a toss? What is the deal? Who are we talking about here that has a problem with Ronaldo? I just think it's sloppy journalism. I don't want to talk about it anymore, but I just wanted to talk about it to highlight the fact that it's probably complete bollocks. There you go. Anyway. So also reports to say that Rangnick has a good relationship with the agent of Antonio Rudiger, and we'd have to put in a 55 million bid to sign him. 55 million euros. That's not going to happen, so we're not going to talk about that. But there you go. Right, okay. Let's get into the live chat. Before I do, actually, I'll just give a rundown of everything we've discussed here. We've got 100 legends in here tonight, today. Big God Bob, thank you for the £2 super chat, mate. He says he's the GOAT, not the scapegoat, for fuck's sake. Exactly. I know. What is this? What is this picture they're trying to paint of Ronaldo like he's some sort of massive prima donna in the dressing room and he's throwing his toys out at every opportunity? I think it's bullshit. I bet you that article doesn't get written if he doesn't have that Paddy coming off as a sub in that game the other night. I bet you that article doesn't get written. It's just to try and add a bit more fuel to the flame. It's bullshit, mate, basically. BS. Let's get a poo-poo emoji in there, guys. Thank you, Big God Bob. How's it going there, Vanguard, my son? Anyone see the news of Victor Lindelof? Yes, Manchester United Red Devils. So I'll start with that then for the quick rundown if you're just joining us. So Victor Lindelof's home was broken into on Wednesday night while he was out, obviously with the United squad playing Brentford, and his wife and kids were at home, and they've locked themselves in a room. Thankfully, they're not injured or hurt or anything, but their home was broken into, and now the family are in Sweden. Ralph Rangnick in his press conference has said that he's been given the game off tomorrow, so he's not going to be playing against West Ham, which means that we've got the Slab or Phil Jones potentially coming into the team, hopefully Phil. But that is the situation with Victor Lindelof. Once again, smash those love hearts in the chat for Victor Lindelof and his family. That's a horrible thing to have to deal with. Just psychologically, that's horrible. You get home or after the game, you'd be informed that that's happened. You'd be in a very, very bad mental place, I think, certainly that night and probably the next day. Certainly, and that's why they've gone to Sweden with the fam to sort of, to try and get over it. And obviously they don't want to stay in the house that they've just been broken into in the next day. So it's pretty sad stuff, pretty sad stuff. But there you go, Lindelof, his family, he's not going to be playing the game tomorrow. The press conference earlier from Ralf Rangnick, he said actually that Jesse Lingard has, there's interest there from Newcastle. And he said, with regard to Jesse, it's the same with quite a few other players. He's a really good player. I see that in every training session. For me, it's normal that other clubs, like, for example, Newcastle, show an interest in him. I'm not the one who's dealing with that. I know there might be some interest from other clubs. But if you ask me now, what will happen in the next 10 days until the close of the window, I can't answer the question, I'm afraid. But, he is available. Newcastle United are negotiating with him. The Telegraph reported last night that Manchester United had an offer from Newcastle on the table for £6 million for a loan deal between now and the end of the season, obviously, and then they'd be able to take him on as a free agent in the summer, wouldn't they? So £6 million loan deal is potentially on the table. It's also reported that Manchester United have rejected that, though, and are holding out for a permanent move and a little bit more money. But that's just there's a couple of different varying reports. I personally think that they'll thrash it out and they'll get him signed up on a loan between now and the end of the season, because for them it makes sense to do it. They could get him in a short-term deal for Newcastle. It makes sense in case they do get relegated to the Championship, but I don't think they will. But he also said it depends on what the player wants. Does Jesse want to stay here and just get no game time and be a part of the squad and be called upon when we need him? Or does he actually going to want to go and play somewhere? Because really, he's not really going to do that under Rangnick. So that's the big news. Jesse Lingard, that deal is getting closer. So Newcastle makes second loan bid for Jesse Lingard as frustration grows over Diego Carlos' deal. And they're willing to pay and cover his £80,000 a week wages, or, whatever it is altogether. So seems like that's quite realistic that he could be going to Newcastle United between now and the end of the window. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, guys. We'll have to wait and see. There might be another offer in for somebody else. Does David Moyes have a real strong interest in bringing Jesse Lingard in? Will he put in an 11th hour bid, or it's not even the end of the window yet, but will he put a bid in to counter and try and get him in? Or will he just be going to Newcastle on loan? We'll have to see. I'll let you guys know and give you all the latest news as and when it breaks, of course, on this channel, as always. So make sure you do have that little bell icon clicked that looks like Luis Suarez's face. Click that little bell end emoji, and that will give you a notification when we post and we go live. So he also gave us a bit of team news, actually, guys, in regards, so I forgot to say this earlier. But we know the situation with Lindelof breaking at his house, so he's not going to play. He also said that Luke Shaw is still injured and will remain out, so Telles is going to play. This is on the club's official website during his presser. And he also confirmed that Telles and Diego Dalot will play against West Ham. So he's confirmed, 2 starters already, Telles and Dalot, and I'm pretty happy with both those guys playing, to be fair. They've both been decent so far. Hold on a second. We got 79 likes on the stream. Get in there, Rushmano. Nice one. Do hit the like button if you're just joining, guys. Let's see if we can get 100 on this stream. Haven't done an early stream like this for a while. I don't think you guys are expecting it. But either way, do us a favour and smash that like. Help us get to 100. So yes, David Ornstein reporting that Newcastle United reportedly expected to throw everything at Jesse Lingard this window in order to bring him in. Also reports in Germany, Bild reporting that Ralf Rangnick is desperate to make Amadou Haidara his first signing at United, but the club won't sanction any signings until we've sold players, basically. So until players like Lingard or Martial or other players have been wrapped up and gone, it's going to be unlikely that we're going to add more players to the squad. We've got to get rid first. And Bild reporting that he is the number 1 target for Ralf Rangnick this month, but United Chiefs are hesitating making a move. And also there's reports that Newcastle United are also interested in signing Amadou Haidara. That's from Sky in Germany, but, probably not the case. Sport 1 reporting that Amadou Haidara wants to move to Manchester United this month. That is what they're reporting. When we've spoken of his words in the past where he's discussed having a dream to play for Manchester United one day, we know that Rangnick's had that relationship, bringing him to Salzburg, RB Salzburg back in the day for chunk change and, helping him in his early part of his career. So, they've got that relationship there. They've got that understanding. It's a likely signing. I hope it happens. That's pretty much it, guys. Also, there's just an article on manunited.com about Bruno Fernandes and, clear on his United ambitions. Obviously, he's taken the armband in the last couple of days. And if Slabby does come back into the team tomorrow, I want to see Bruno Fernandes given that captain's armband. He's actually really done well since he's had that armband. That's what I'm talking about. I think Bruno Fernandes, he plays better when he's got a little bit more responsibility on him. I think he likes that responsibility. Whereas Harry Maguire, I think he probably played better without the responsibility, to be fair. He's a melter. Bruno grabs the game by the scruff of the neck. He grabs it by the balls and he tries to make stuff happen. And I think, he is a more likely suitable candidate to be captain. So anyway, he says, anyway, I'm not going to say what he said. It's a whole bunch of interview and a quote if you want to read it. But basically, he's ambitious, and he's basically said that his ambition is to, is still the same. He wants to win trophies with the club. It will always be in his mind until the last day he's at the club. I don't know when that will be. Until then, I will believe that I can win trophies with the club because I think we can, and I think the club deserves it, and the fans deserve it, and also the players, we deserve to win a trophy. So this is what he's saying. He's here to win the trophies. The situation with Bruno Fernandes in his contract, though, is still the same. We haven't wrapped it up. We haven't signed him up to a new deal. We are in negotiations. He's got time left on his contract, but he's just not on a lot of money. And if you want this guy to be happy and if you want this guy to be committed to United for the next 5 seasons, which I think we should do because he's that good. Yeah, he's had a bit of a bad spell this season. So is the whole team. But I think the quality's it's still there. You can see that the quality's still there. So for me, we should get this guy wrapped up to a long-term deal on big money. On big money, to be fair. He deserves it for his role in the squad. Not ridiculous money. I'm not talking ridiculous money, but I'm just saying, if you value him as a player, which I do, you've got to give him what he deserves in the squad, which is make him one of the highest paid players in the squad. You've got to. In my opinion, you've got to. Plus, he's got a very high, transfer value from United's point of view. Nobody's coming to buy him from us because he's worth so much money. He's not going anywhere. He's contracted for years still. But United need to get him signed up to that long-term contract on more money, don't we? We got an update. Oh, thank you very much. Let's take a look here at the updates from Rushmano. Thank you very, very much. Let's see what we've got in here then. So, Fabrizio Romano, an update on Vlahovic from the Fiorentina CEO Baroni. He says, we've not received any bid from Juventus for Dusan. There are talks with English clubs, but it should involve 3 parties, not 2. So the situation there, I guess, like Zayn Miasi was saying, in regards to Arsenal, there's some interest there. So Vlahovic has some talks there. Okay, yes. Oh, yes, and I also wanted to mention that, actually, by the way, about Jadon Sancho. I forgot to mention that in the team news. Thank you, Rushmore, for sending that through too. So, in regards to Jadon Sancho, this is what he said in the thing earlier. He was asked about Sancho's situation. He said, we need to see where Jadon Sancho stands. He didn't train yesterday. As you know, he attended a funeral on Wednesday and didn't want to train yesterday as he's still affected by that. We'll have to see. And in the presser, he said that he went on and said, it was a close member of his family. So, he's obviously been affected by it. So he's not going to force him back too quick or anything. He's only a young lad, Jadon. You can't, people got to be, you've got to have a bit of compassion. I understand he does need a bit of time off. If he needs the time, if it's somebody of close member of his family, he's just passed away and he's at a funeral, I understand it. So, yeah, there you go. He's not going to be available either, guys. I forgot to mention that earlier. He's not going to be available either. In regards to Edinson Cavani's situation at the moment, this is the quotes from Rangnick. He said, Edinson Cavani hasn't been training with the team yet. Will hopefully resume training today, and then we will take the final decision after the training session today if he will be available for the game tomorrow. So in regards to Cavani, will he be fit tomorrow to play? I think he will play up the top there with Cristiano, but we don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. And then on regards to Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously was asked about the Ronaldo situation, throwing his toys out the pram the other day. And he just said in the presser, it's natural, it's normal, these things happen. He's dealt with forward players and stuff. He knows how to manage them. And, it's no bad thing. And it's not a big deal at all, basically. Rangnick said in regards to Cristiano, this also, he said, Cristiano is a question mark to face West Ham because he has a problem with his neck. He received treatment yesterday for 2 to 3 hours, and we'll have to wait to see how he feels today. So again, adding more fuel to the fire. I think he will play, but adding more fuel to the fire that there's maybe just some little bit of a tiff going on there, but it's not. You can see Rangnick dealing with the situation on the sidelines the other day and putting his arm around Ronaldo, and Rashford came on and scored, so you can't really say anything. Rashford, his substitutions a couple of minutes later had a good positive impact, and so from Ronaldo's point of view, you especially if he's got a neck problem now, it's like, well, should have come off sooner then. So it's not going to be any argument between that, but yeah, in regards to that, I think that's definitely the case. For fuck's sake, what's going on, Rushmano? Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, yes, I spoke about that earlier. Absolutely, I spoke about that earlier, Rushmano. Here we go. Look, here we go. Well, not here we go, but yes, thank you very much, Rushmano, for giving me this information. New tweet from Fabrizio Romano just a minute ago. You're a legend, Rushy. Thank you for giving us the update, mate. Here it is here, as we discussed it. I reported this about half an hour ago. Manchester City board had 2 meetings with Julian Alvarez agents. Talks have started, but release clause hasn't been paid. It's not done yet. Julian won't join City in January, but they'd look for a loan. Man United never opened talks to sign Julian Alvarez in January. We're a fucking bunch of bottle merchants, guys, aren't we? We are a bunch of bottle merchants. This guy's too good not to go and get. In all fairness, this Julian Alvarez, guys. I mean, if you want to know about him, you know, he's obviously playing over at River Plate. He was the highest scorer in the Argentinian league last season. He's playing in the Argentinian side. Obviously won that Copa America. He's only 21 or 21. Yeah, he's literally 21. And he's just a great prospect. You know, he's a great prospect, and he's got a fee. It's some sort of release fee. I think it's not very much money at all. Release clause hasn't been paid, as you can see from Fabrizio Romano. So piss poor from Man United. Fuck's sake, the Glazers, says Ralph Rangnick. I know I smell Ronaldo 2.0, says Tad Banks. I think this guy's going to be a very good player. I've only seen YouTube clips of the guy, really, peeps, to be honest. Everybody looks good on YouTube, but just if you read what people say about him, the fact that he was the top scorer last year at the age of 20, in the Argentinian league, and, you know, you look at the skills, the quality. He's a very good forward player. I think United should be looking at bringing this guy in. Plus, he's available for hardly any money. I know. Hashtag Glazers out. Let's get some hashtag Glazers out in the live chat, peeps. That's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. Bollocks to that. Yeah, we thought that was coming, actually. Thank you for the update there, Rushmano. As it breaks, you absolute legend. Okay, so yes, and as we said earlier as well, you know, another report here, thank you, Rushmano, that Ralph Rangnick's very, very keen, desperate to bring in Amadou Haidara. River Plate are close to the sale of Julian Alvarez to Man City, although the forward would remain in Argentina for a further 6 months. So this is what's being reported as well, as we said. So that's what that means in regards to the loan thing. They would be quite happy to let him go in the summer, sell him now, but then receive him back on loan until the end of the season, and then he goes and joins City permanently, obviously. So that is looking likely to what could happen for Julian Alvarez, guys. Hashtag Glazers out in the chat, guys. Get those green and golds coming. This is just piss poor lack of ambition by our football club, guys, every single time. You got somebody that is available, and he's actually available for pretty cheap. And we've been talking about this guy. We could have gone in for this guy weeks ago at the start of the window. Instead, unwilling to spend the money. It's not very much money. You've got players here that we could sell. We haven't sold. Dean Henderson, Tony Martial, Donny van der Beek, Jesse Lingard. All of these players, I'm sure you could generate cash for and get rid of them. It's not going to affect the team too much, and then you could sign other players. Sign a player like this, and you could sign a couple of midfielders as well. You know, not huge money midfielders, but you could bring a Kamara in. You could bring a Haidara in. Sure you could. And then you could bring in this guy too. But no, we don't have the ambition to do that. And this guy's not a signing for right now, like we've said, because we've got Ronaldo, we've got Cavani, we've got all these forward players here. Is he really what we need right now? No, he's not. He's we need a midfielder. He's a goal scorer, this guy. But you know, he's a winger forward. You know, like we need somebody who's a midfielder, a central midfielder. What we need is somebody who's, you know, going to improve the team. He's not actually going to improve the team right now. He might be very good, but he's not going to improve the team like, say, central midfielder would. So, but we should be getting this guy as well. You should be going to get a midfielder in this window and this guy as well, and doing what City are proposing to do here, which is loaning him back. They're in the situation with their financial abilities that we clearly don't have because our owners are shackling us, where they can just do that. They can just buy him. He will join them in the summer and they'll loan him back to them to sweeten the deal there. And then that's good for them because their player's getting developed for the rest of the season. They're getting a good player in the summer. It's cheap. Why aren't we doing it? I don't understand why we aren't doing it. Oh, it's actually really frustrating, isn't it? Okay. Let's get into the live chat then, peace. We're going to have a Q&A now. Thank you very much for that, Rushmano, for the latest news there, and everyone else for being in here. I'm going to leave that there so you can just see it if you're just joining. But yeah, get in the live chat, guys. We're going to have a Q&A now. I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes, so have your say. Do get your thoughts and opinions in the chat about anything we've gone over. Lingard, Martial, Haidara, Julian Alvarez now. Let me know what you guys are thinking. What's your thoughts? Have your say. I'm going to have a Q&A with you legends. Also, smash the like. Let's get 100 likes on the vid. Give it a subscribe and all that stuff as well. And do have your say in the chat. It's a fully interactive live chat. Now we're going to have a Q&A. Get involved. We want to hear from you. So, let's get into the chat. Let me give it a refresh. Okay, so Callum Ganderton, what's going on? Says Glazers out. Thank you, Rushy legend. Jonathan says, disaster window this from us. It is terrible, this, bud, isn't it? Hang on, let me move over here so I'm not so close to that. Looks better. What a disaster. Let me move this here too. What a disaster window this is from us so far. I agree, Jonathan Gallagher, mate. No players sold, no players signed. Very much piss poor. Lots of rumours, lots of talks about, oh, Martial to Sevilla. Lots of talks about, oh, Bailly to Milan. But no actual business done from us. Probably because we're asking for a bit too much like we always are. Martial to Sevilla. Could have got that done ages ago as well. But no, asking for a bit too much. No other team's foolish enough to pay Tony what we pay him. If we want 100% of his wages being paid, it's probably not going to happen. Because he's just not that good. He's not worth that amount of investment. Maybe really for the short term if you're desperate, but I think we've got to bend a little bit with in regards to getting rid of players, and then in regards to bringing players in. Because of that, because of the chain reaction of not letting anyone go, and the fact that our Glazers and our owners are not ambitious enough to go and sign players, we're being left behind in this window too. Other teams are signing players. I know Newcastle has signed Wood, they've signed Trippier, they're trying to sign Lingard. There's even talks maybe interested in Haidara also. So there's other teams doing business out there. We've got no good excuse really. Got no good excuse apart from our recruitment team and the team, our board and people that are in these decision-making positions are making piss poor decisions. Max Nick says, I guess Maguire sent robbers to Lindelof's home to get a chance to play in the starting 11. Good shout. Vutinator says, Martial's leaving now and Cavani gone at the end of the season. Rashford out of form. Sancho hasn't found his feet yet, so we are still in need of another top striker soon. In the summer, I think we definitely need a striker, yeah. And Ronaldo, there's still question marks about him. And even if he does stay another year, which he will, I think, but even if he does, it's like, well, he's getting on a bit. Is he going to be fit the whole time? He probably will be. But, he's going to go at the end of that time. And then we're definitely going to have to bring in a forward player in the summer, I think. Unless you're going to make Mason Greenwood a full-on striker. But I do think, absolutely need to bring in a forward player. So Julian Alvarez is somebody we should be looking to bring in. He would be perfect. It's not a risk with Julian Alvarez simply because of his stats that he's putting up and his age and his cost and all the rest of it. He's not an expensive signing right now. This is the difference between signing a player like him from abroad and a player like him from the UK. Now, if that was a player like, let's be honest now, if you look at what he's done so far in Argentina, it's way more than, if you look at not more, but if you look at Mason Greenwood, for instance, how much would Mason Greenwood be worth in this current market if say, City or Barca or Juventus, whoever wanted to sign him? You're talking 100 mil, you're talking 80, 90 million, 100 mil. Surely for Mason Greenwood at 19 with all the potential that he's got. But Julian Alvarez, Argentina, he's potentially the next Argentinian star. He's got all the same potential. He's a little bit more further developed at 21 years of age. He's been in the Argentina side that's lifted the Copa America, and he's just, come on. he's pretty decent signing basically for the price, is what I'm saying. He made his debut for the Argentina national team on the 3rd of June 2021 in a World Cup qualifier against Chile. He was substituted for Angel Di Maria in the 62nd minute. He's only played 5 times, right? So he wasn't actually playing in the, he's just a part of the squad. He's not really playing, but essentially he's young and he's got all the potential to be a future star. The next player like these great forwards that Argentina produced, like a Angel Di Maria or a fucking Messi or whatever. Maybe not Messi, but he's got great potential. So in terms of price difference, there's so much better value buying a player like this from River Plate than there is buying somebody from the UK, somebody from the Premier League. Because Greenwood, he would cost 5 times, 10 times what this guy's available for. This guy, he's understood he's got a release clause something like 15 million. So Julian Alvarez to me is a no-brainer, but it looks like City are going to get him, guys. Looks like City are going to get him. Hey, we're 5 likes off of 100. You can do it. Cut his freaking head off. Smash the like button, guys. Who's going to be the 100th liker? Ronnie is sticking around for the manager's seat. Watch this space, says the big guy. Any new signings for the midfield position, says Max Nick? Not at the moment, bro, but there should be, shouldn't there? We should have Ruben Neves lined up. We should have Amadou Haidara coming in. I think Haidara is the most realistic, and Ralph Rangnick's got the most interest in bringing him in. That is the latest report anyway, that he's desperate to bring Amadou Haidara in this window. Alvarez will be better than Greenwood long term, says Jesus Rodriguez. Well, there you go. I mean, it's hard to say. It is hard to say, but all I'm doing is comparing, two good youngsters here, one of which is actually further developed and arguably, has done a bit more. Actually, no, I wouldn't say done a bit more, but on the international stage, few appearances for Argentina, etc. There's not much in it in terms of where they're at in their careers. But one of them was the top scorer in the Argentinian league last year. That's not the Premier League, I get that, but there's still good teams over there. Boca, River Plate, all the rest. There's still some it's good standard. So he's obviously a good talent. He's got great potential. And so that's why we should bring in somebody like that. Gideon says, Pig, you doing a FIFA stream same time like always? You streaming as soon as the Team EA comes out? I'm streaming tonight, same time as always, Gideon. Yeah, I've actually got a show on the channel coming on shortly, a fan debate with some legends coming on at 6 p.m. So there will be a 6 p.m. Manchester United fan debate sort of preview type thing, but also just discussing the current situation with a bunch of the legends of the channel getting on. Fan debate. I'm not on it, obviously. You're sick of my opinions, but there'll be no. But it's good I like to get other people on the channel just to get different fan opinions. So obviously, I've got my opinions, but it's good to hear other people's stances. That I know. It's just good to hear other people's opinions too. My prediction for tomorrow now, 786. I'll get into that a bit later. I think I'm going to come on at 9 o'clock tonight or somewhere around there. Give you the latest transfer news, if there is any, and also the latest, I'll give you a bit of a preview for the game as well. We'll see. So yeah, we never get sick of you, Piggy. Thank you, Sean O'Sullivan. Tad Bake says you won't be on the 6 p.m. show. Not good enough, Piggy. Now, well, I'm going to do a video at 9, so I've done this one. I'm going to do a video at 9, then I'm also going to do a FIFA video later at 11. So, I am pretty busy, so I need a little break in between. But we're going to get some legends on the channel to do a fan debate at 6 p.m. So all of you legends here, please do us a favor and come back in about an hour and 15 minutes and do come and join in for the fan debate, fan panel show. There will be a bunch of legends on there. Nice one, Tad, I know. Blizzard Down says, came to give you my like. Thank you so much for smashing the like. And we did it. We smashed 100 likes on the stream. Come on. Get in there, my son. Will there be interviews before the game? There'll be fan cams, Vincent Bullock. Yeah, not before the game, but after the game. There will be fan cams there, Vincent Bullock, coming tomorrow. So yes, tomorrow after the game, obviously I'll do my watching on, give you my fan reaction, etc. But then after that, we'll have fan cams coming through, Vincent Bullock, from outside Old Trafford, mate. Yes, indeed. So everyone, make sure you do show your support tomorrow after the game's finished and come back and watch those. LYM Pexiliera says, I think we desperately need DM to be able to manage the top four. Our midfield is so slow on passing the ball. So shy, aren't they? And not only that, not just slow, they give it away a lot. People like Fred, he's not a pass master. I like Fred defensively. He wins the ball back like no man's business. But he also gives it away like no man's business too. Drew Who says, it's good business buying young players. Arsenal got Martinelli for peanuts and he's worth 10 times more now. Yeah, very much the case. Very much the case. This Julian Alvarez guy's got the potential to be a great player in the future. City, if they can get it wrapped up, it's a great signing for them. But we should be getting that player. We should be getting him, not them. True, I'd be happy if we got rid of Martial and Lingard, says Sean. That's what we should be doing, Sean. Get rid of Martial and Lingard, bring in Julian Alvarez. That's what we should be doing, and also a midfielder too. Hey, no worries, Vinny, but you're up. You're getting the coach to the match. Oh, no worries, Vincent, but we'll have a great day tomorrow, man, and no problem if you can't be in here long. Thanks for getting in this one. Sean O'Sullivan says, I'm not happy Cavani is going. He will be missed. Yeah, but he's getting on a bit. We'll see. Maybe they'll have a renegotiation in the summer, but I think we'll have got the best good years, the best last good years out of Cavani, won't we? He'll be 35 soon, Fan cams are a good idea. Thank you, Nash. Yeah, we had them on the last one, but we had technical issues. I couldn't get them onto the next morning. So they will be on there after the game, I'm hoping, this time around. Thank you, Hell Knight says, sensational streams of late, Pig. You're in a rich vein of form, fella. Hell Knight, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that a lot. Get in there. Hire a sexy interviewer for the fan camping. Madhouse, great shout, mate. Great shout. It's a really good shout. Jonathan Gallagher says, we have got one. His name's Mark B. Jonathan says, Pig, Fred, 3 games and 3 assists, says Jonathan Gallagher. Make fair play to Fred. Yeah, no, listen. Like I said, assist-wise, he's done well at moments. He's done well, but you can't pretend that like the first half in that game, the last game against Brentford, you can't pretend like he didn't give the ball away a load of times. He was effective in the end. Like I said, the key moments, they counted. That was awesome. But also, come on, you can't tell me that he's good on the ball. Time splitters 2 tonight? You never know, Dan Watson. You don't think Cavani likes the colder climate? Yeah, I think he wants to go to play in Spain as well, Andrew Koch. Yeah, I think could see that likely. Fred loses 9 out of 10. Yeah, LYM Pixera. He is good. He's a good destructive midfielder. I like him as a squad player. But also you have to remember some of the recent games we've played, they've been against teams like Wolves and Burnley and who else? The last game against Brentford and stuff. It's like we're not playing the top teams right now. I'm sorry, but, as Roy Keane would say, that's your job. That's your job, Fred. Your job's to play well against shit teams, Fred. You know what I mean? Like he's a pretty average player, but against those teams, he plays for Brazil for fuck's sake. He can't be that bad. Against those teams, he should be bossing the midfield. He's not quite bossing it, but he's still having a good effect. But I want to see him do it against good teams, but I actually don't want to see him do it. I don't want to see him put in there against those teams, sadly. Rush Mano, thank you so much for a £10 super chat, mate. Get in there, my son. Come on, thank you, guys. Can we get a massive sue in the chat there for Rushy? Appreciate you, dude. Actually, let's get some King Cantona emojis. If you don't know, we have got a couple new emojis now. We've got, I believe, a Cantona and also an Edinson Cavani emoji there. Get in there. Thank you, Rushmano. He says, Rangnick wants players now. The board wants to stick with long-term targets in the summer. Players out now is key. Definitely, Rushmano. I totally agree. Yes, have to get players out the window now in order to bring these players in. It's very much the case we should have. We should have got more players out already. We really should have done. We've dawdled around. Bailly should be gone. Henderson should be gone, in my opinion. He's probably not, but he should be going. Lingard definitely should be gone. Martial definitely should be gone. Question marks over Donny. Is he going to play? Well, if not, then he should be gone too. We should be generating cash, getting players off the books and reinvesting that in other areas of the team. So I agree, Rushman, it has to happen now. Rangnick wants them gone. He's desperate for Amadou Haidara. And in order to get Amadou Haidara, he's going to have to get rid of one or two. Yeah, nice one, Tad Bate. She is a good lass. Mikhail Kramer. Get in there, my son. How are you doing today, Mikhail? Says, hey, Piggy, Save Gang. Hope you're doing well today, Mikhail. Thank you so much for that super chat, Rushy. Ted Zavala, what's up, mate? How are you going there today? Good to see you. Play the youth, says Sean Collins. Look at Anthony Elanga. Anthony Elanga or Anthony Martial right now, guys. Have a vote in the chat. Let me know. They're both available to play tomorrow. Anthony Elanga or Anthony Martial. I'll answer it for you. Anthony Elanga. You know why? Because he actually looks like he's bloody arsed. And we also know Martial doesn't want to play, or not necessarily doesn't want to play, but wants to leave, is not happy about the lack of game time, doesn't want to fight. Well, sorry to say, you're out, mate. I don't think he should play for us again, based on what his agent said. I personally think he's a decent player, but we don't need him. If we can get rid of him, get a shot of him, and give the mantle to Elanga. Play the youth. Yep, Elanga says Naz and Madhouse. Elanga all day, says Sean. Elanga says Ghost. Elanga no-brainer, says Cedric Burner. Agreement reached for City Alvarez, by the way, for fuck's sake. Oh, no. Rushmano, that's a nightmare. Yeah, agreement reached. So is that the latest update, is it? Piss poor, mate. Fucking hell. That's a nightmare, mate. So there you go. As we've just reported, Julian Alvarez to City is looking very, very likely. And yeah, Man United board had 2 meetings with Julian Alvarez agents. Talks have started. Release clause hasn't been paid. It's done, not done yet. But hang on, we got a new bit of information coming through. And there it is. Looks like City have now reached an agreement. Thank you, Rushmano. City have reached an agreement with both River Plate and Julian Alvarez over a transfer in August. If they're he will head to Manchester. Otherwise, he'll be loaned out with a possible extended stay at River Plate. Fucking hell. Anyway, so that looks like that's going to happen, really, guys. You never know. United could go in there and have a cheeky last offer, but it's just not going to happen, is it? Last-minute offer from United is not something we generally, it's not going to happen. Although we did steal Cristiano Ronaldo out from underneath them. Oh, dear. Thank you for the update there, Rushy. So that's not good, guys. Looks like Julian Alvarez and City have reached terms with, or reached agreement with River Plate. So what? Well, so what at Madhouse? I mean, he's a great player, mate. He's a good young player. He's a great prospect. He's peanuts. He's peanuts money. Peanuts money. And we could do with him next season. We really could. It's a loss. It just goes to show you the lack of quality we have to bring in people and the lack of ambition we've got. It's very disappointing, as Rushmano says. That's what it is. It's just classic at the moment. We are shackled by our owners. We are playing second fiddle in the transfer window. We're chopping around in the bargain basement as well. But even then, it's like we can't actually sadly compete with the likes of City. People who say, well, United spent money in the summer and got Varane and Sancho And Ronaldo, well, okay, yeah, but we recouped a bit of that. The stock prices went up. Plus, Sancho was the season signing before that we never made. They didn't do it the season before. They should have got him. They did spend a lot. But how about City? They spent 100 million on Grealish. You know, Newcastle don't have anywhere near the revenue that we do, but they're buying players like Trippier and Wood for 25 mil, etc. You know, like, and also trying to buy more players. There are obviously clubs that are making strides. We are not one of those clubs. Sadly, we're not one of those clubs. It's clear to see this is a fucking joke that this window has gone on the way it has, but it's nothing that I didn't expect, to be fair, because we know what the Glazers are like. We know what our owners are like. Right, anyway, guys, about time we got rid of some of the gassers, Gary. Yeah, can't believe we've not been able to get rid of more. Steele Welbeck back, says Sean Collins. Clubs obviously trying to slow Newcastle down by holding players afraid of the black and white powerhouse of the future. Yeah, then they give it a few years, they're going to be good. I don't know about that, Jason Brown. They've already signed 2 signings, mate. They've only just had a takeover. They've already got Wood in and also Trippier. That's a great signing. If they get Lingard too, that's a really good signing. Get the guff out our club, says Sean O'Sullivan. Marcio isn't lazy. Marcio is disillusioned with the club the same way the fan base is, says Tan Base. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. Some performances I see his head go, I see him not looking that committed. But then, you know, maybe it is just, he is disillusioned with the club. He's not playing. I would be too if I was him. He's not playing, but rightfully so. Camavinga would have been a nice purchase, Andrew, because, yeah, there were reports in the summer that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really wanted to sign Camavinga, but with the whole Ronaldo situation, we ended up getting him instead. So, yeah. Yet the Glazers pay themselves 11 million in dividends. I know, yeah, hashtag Glazers out. Right, we're going to end this stream on a hashtag Glazers out, guys. Scott Hutchinson says this shows that Ralph knows what he's doing. Board are to blame. Yep. It is what it is. We are the 4th richest club in England now, says Madhouse. You would buy Neves and Haaland, says Naz. In an ideal world, yeah. I don't think Haaland's coming to us, though. I think he wants to go to Madrid. And even if we were to win, like, the league this season, I don't even know if he would come to us then, with his dad used to play for City and all the rest of it. You know, it depends where the trophies are and where the money's at as well. And unfortunately, there's clubs that can probably outspend us in regards to Haaland right now too, because he wants $500,000 or so ridiculous. You would buy Neves and Haaland. Yeah, Glazers out. Mikhail says if Newcastle want Lingard, then buy him. Hashtag no loan. Thing is, though, for them it makes sense, and it's almost like a loan that's really a short-term transfer if you think about it, because there's only a few months left, so like they could sign him, but they could just loan him now and sign him in the summer if they're still in the Prem. They might actually get relegated. Don't think they will, but they might. So do they want to get another player on big money if they're going down? They're probably not going down, but I can understand why they'd rather do a loan and just pay a few mil. And also from United's point of view, we can't ask for a lot of money for a permanent transfer, really. Can't ask for a lot more money. I mean, what are we going to get? Double the amount of money for a permanent move than a loan? Probably not. I don't know. Probably not. Hey, see you later, Wiggy. Thank you so much. Hashtag Glazers out, says Mikhail. Thank you, Rushmano. Thank you, Gary. Jonathan Gallagher, the Vutinator. Jesus Rodriguez as well. Yeah, Neves would have saved the transfer window. I agree. Definitely Jesus. The big guy. And even if you give somebody them, like, if you'd give Wolves Donny or something, surely they'd have been quite happy, you know, to get somebody like that. and a bit of cash, maybe. We got 108 likes. Thank you, everybody who smashed the like. We're going to leave the video there then. Appreciate you all getting in here. Thanks for that. This is the latest United news of the day then. Jesse Lingard potentially going to Newcastle United before the end of the window. We shall see and give you the latest when it happens. Julian Alvarez looking likely to be close to joining Manchester City now, which is a big shame. We could have got that guy. That's a big loss. Also, Tony Martial reports in Spain that Sevilla are readying a new approach for him. And then just finally, Amadou Haidara, the links with Manchester United not going away. Ralf Rangnick seriously interested in signing this player this window. If we can get players out, that is a big caveat. We have to sign players, but we have to get rid of players first, I think is the situation for Ralph. Thank you, LXY, LYM, Pixiera. Thank you, Naz, Jonathan, Rushmano, Jason Brown, Eamon Barrett. All of you guys, do drop a like on your way out. If you're on catch-up later, drop your comments in down below as well. Actually, come back after this video is finished and comment in the not live comments after it's finished. Get your thoughts and opinions in about what we've discussed here and have your say. Keep the debate going with the Baker Brigade. Check out the website for your latest United news, unitedflyinghigh.com. Also, follow us on social media at Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Like I say, there's going to be a fan panel show on in just over an hour's time. So do come back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Keep a lookout for your notifications. Click that bell icon. Subscribe if you're new so you get the notifications and stuff. And keep a lookout. In about an hour's time, we'll have the lads on for a fan debate, fan panel show, previewing and discussing Rangnick's chances against West Ham tomorrow, etc. Nice one. Thank you guys, everyone. Madhouse, Vuti, Rushy, Mikhayu, Naz, Andrikos, and all the rest. You have a great day. That's it from me. Take it easy. And come on, United, sort your bloody lives out now. This January window's an absolute stinker. Get some of these prima donna melt bags out our club, generate some fucking cash, and sign someone immediately so we can go about our lives, please. Get in there and do it for Pete's sake. Bye, guys. Soon.